It really seems like lately you're not having a Hollywood comeback if you don't star in a fast-paced action movie, which is exactly what Love Hurts has to offer, so it should feel pretty familiar and comfortable to fans of franchises like John Wick or that Nobody movie with Bob Odenkirk. But is there more to this movie? Is this movie more than just a bunch of set pieces that set up these really elaborate fights? I think it is. But let's talk about Love Hurts. Love Hurts stars Huy Quan and Ariana DeBose, and it tells the story of a former badass killer turned realtor who is trying to live a normal life after he helps fake the death of a former colleague who stole from his gangster brother. That's already a lot, and I'm not done. After receiving a random Valentine's Day card, the hunt for this woman, who is supposed to be dead by the way, is on as Marvin attempts to evade the people who have been sent to find her, and those people aren't very friendly either. It's not long before they come knocking on his door and ruin the little quiet life that he was trying to build for himself. He may have given up his life as a killer, but he hasn't lost his edge, which results in a very fun, fast-paced action movie that has heart, humor, and thrilling fights. Huy Quan is perhaps most famous for his childhood roles. Characters like Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, or Data from Goonies. But his re-emergence as an adult actor didn't really start gaining big traction until he won his Academy Award for that movie Everything and Everywhere All at Once. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, what are you waiting on? That is a great movie. So can this guy lead an action movie? Yes, of course he can. In fact, his role in Everything and Everywhere All at Once is action-based as well, and this is a little bit more of that for him. As impressive as it is watching him pull out these awesome kung fu moves, I think the best part of this movie is when he's just trying to play Marvin. He's a man who is feeling ashamed about some of the things that he's done in the past. Like I said, he used to be a badass killer, and he worked for his gangster brother. But when this film starts, he's enjoying his life selling houses, pining for praise from his boss, and just trying to live his best civilian life. And he is so effortlessly charming that it is hard not to enjoy every single scene that he's in. I mean, this guy's presence is so magnetic. He's like a friend. I feel like I would get along really well with this guy. And what's really impressive about Huy Quan is that he still has that youthful energy that made audiences fall in love with him way back in the 80s. He hasn't lost any of that. He certainly has aged, as we all have, but he still has that childlike energy that is just magnetic and pulls you right in. I am all for his rise in Hollywood, and I can't wait to see even more stuff from him. This guy deserves everything he's getting. Not too long ago, I said in my review for the movie Craven that Ariana DeBose needs to speak with her agent about some of the shitty movies that she had been in over the past year. But I'm happy to say that she has finally been in a good movie, because this movie is solid, and I think that Ariana DeBose actually does a great job in this film. I wouldn't say she has a ton to do in this movie, and when she is in this movie, she's really relegated to looking pretty and occasionally dealing out some combat moves. So she does better in this movie than most of the performances I've seen from her lately, so I am feeling a bit more converted. I mean, she is pretty. There is no doubt about it. Ariana DeBose is gorgeous, and I am glad to see her be in a role that finally offers her something that is fascinating, that puts her in a movie that doesn't completely suck balls. And as far as the supporting cast in this movie, I loved Marshawn Lynch. He is a big football player, as many people will probably know, but he is a very talented actor. This guy is naturally funny, and he has some really cool fight scenes in this movie as well. As a matter of fact, I think most of the fight scenes in this movie are pretty rock solid. They're all excellently coordinated. They don't look too cheesy. I think I saw a little bit of CGI going on, but for the most part, it looked like real people doing real stunts, and I appreciated that. It made the movie feel more real. Plus, I absolutely loved the dynamic duo of Marshawn Lynch and André Eriksen as Otis. These two were like the odd couple. They're both very stupid in their own way, but they are some of the laughing points of this film. They're entertaining, and their bond, the way they bicker between each other, it makes for some entertaining scenes for sure. And we also have a more than satisfying Goonies reunion in this movie, because the guy who played Sam in Lord of the Rings, you know, Sean Astin, he's in this movie, and seeing him actually give Huy Quan a hug in this movie, just warmed my little heart. I think this movie is a solid time at the cinemas. It's not gonna win any awards, but if you're a fan of action films and you just want something that's gonna pass some time and keep you entertained, then this is a great movie for that. It has a lot of DNA from movies like John Wick, but it's also got more going on. This is not just a carbon copy. You come for those thrilling fight scenes, right? That's what you're being pulled in for. That's what the trailer convinced you to do. But you are staying for Huy Quan and his excellent, charming performance as Marvin. He is just the soul of this movie. And you know, another nice thing about this movie is it's not gonna eat up your whole day. In fact, this movie is not even an hour and a half long, which you might think is a bit too short, but some movies have been getting way too crazy with the length lately, so it is kind of nice to see a movie that plays it a little bit quicker. And by the way, a movie like this, it really doesn't need to be a 2-hour affair. That's kind of just insane. This movie comes and it goes and it does it all in a nice breezy pace. For me, this movie is a 8.5 out of 10. I really recommend seeing it. You don't have to see this in cinemas, but I think you will enjoy seeing it in cinemas on that bigger screen if you so choose to. So that's my thoughts on this movie. What did you guys think of it? Please put your thoughts on it in the comments and let me know what is the takeaway. What are you most enjoying about this movie? And did you like this video? If you did, why don't you hit the little like button to actually indicate that you liked it? And if you want to hear more things from me, subscribe to this channel. Later.